in the next 5 years, it's gonna have value. So when y'all coming in right now, just know the next 5 years when I finish completing everything I gotta complete, because I gotta dedicate 5 years of my life to do it. I'm telling y'all gonna be grateful that y'all came to us, because the name when you say S&R, it's gonna open up doors for y'all, because I'm gonna make sure of that. So it's gonna be how to create a professional resume for the trucking industry. These are just some tips on how to create a resume. And I also had a student ask me, he got an interview tomorrow, he didn't know how to dress. So dress is casual. You don't have to dress business casual, but casual. But okay, I put on here why a resume matters in trucking. It gives your first impression. That's what matters. It is a representation of you. The resume speaks before you do. So when you submit their resume, they're going to get it. So they already going to visualize who you are by seeing your resume. And most recruiters spend like 6 to 10 seconds reviewing a resume. So it kind of sets you apart as a serious professional candidate. So how to create it? By having key parts of a trucking resume. You're going to have your contact information, a professional summary. You're going to have your license and certificate. Anything that y'all did when you was in high school, put it on there. Because if you volunteered or you played in the band, you did something, just put it on your resume, because it kind of sets you apart from most candidates, because some people don't have much on their resume. They haven't really done nothing. So if you put all your activities or your certifications you did throughout your time, add it on there. You're probably not going to have driving experience, but you're going to put the school on here, the hours you get. Everybody know you've been here past 4 weeks. We give you like 160 hours based off the time that you're here. So you be over the hours that most companies want you to have anyway. And your work history. When you have a work history, I know a lot of people probably had a lot of jobs. So I would take 3 out of all my jobs and try to list it on my resume. Don't have like a whole bunch of jobs on there. Try to be stable. I worked at Kroger's when I was 16. I was pushing the buggies. That was my first job I ever had. Was pushing buggies at Kroger on Antoine and over there on Antoine and Palmont. That was my first job. Okay. But yeah, and then I worked at Fur Records. I was a cashier at Fur Records on 290. If y'all probably don't remember, it used to be a Fur Records over there. And I had other multiple jobs, but I didn't put those jobs on there. I changed the date to where you can make it like you have 3 jobs, and you change the date to where you don't have no gaps in your job, so you can have stable history or work history, and try to, I say, list 3, no more than 4 jobs on your resume. And then if you was unemployed, you can put unemployed on there if you wasn't working. In those gaps that you have, you can do that. And then if you got any skills or endorsements, I list that on my resume. Your education, list that on your resume. And references is optional. I don't put references on mine, but it's optional if you want to, because I see some people have it listed on there. So now I'm going into the examples. You're going to have like your full name. You're going to have it at the center top of your resume. Because if you can't visualize it, I can create a class and show y'all how to do it on here if you can't visualize it. But I have it in the center of my resume. You're going to have your full name, your address, because they say no full address needed. You can just put Houston, Texas on there. And then you put your phone number, have a professional email. Don't have nicknames, don't have slang. I'm telling y'all, people do look at that. If you have, I saw somebody had an email, I can't even remember the crazy email it was, but you don't give them your personal email. Try to create a second email and have it with your last name and with probably your something that's meaningful. That's what I do. I have something that means something to me as an email, like your last name and I guess the year you graduated high school or something like that. and have gmail.com. LinkedIn or driver portals. And when y'all apply for jobs, y'all gonna be in that 10th Street portal, because that's what mostly all these companies have. So in 10th Street, you're gonna create a profile, and that's when you're gonna put all this information I'm telling you, because you're gonna create a resume on 10th Street. So every time you go look for a job, you don't have to do it all over again. It'll be saved in 10th Street as a driver portal. So that's what I said, don't use nicknames or unprofessional emails. A professional summary. This stating that, like, when y'all apply for a job and they'll ask you, when can you start or something like that, don't say you need a job ASAP. Don't say that. Oh, we'll drive anything. That's not true, because I wouldn't drive anything. So just be reliable and safety, cautious, CDL, Class A drivers with a clean driving record and strong knowledge of a DOT regulation, skilled in operating dry van and reefer. This is what you'll say on your summary under your name, and it's gonna say professional summary. So you really telling them what type of person you are and what you can do, and that's what this statement is saying. And you operating a dry van. And I just put a reefer unit across regional routes, committed to on-time delivery and maintaining high standards of customer service. So you telling them what you can do and what you obligated of doing and your standards. You're putting that in your summary, because that summary right there is what they're going to read, because that's what I read. And then I put people to the test. I call them up, come on the interview, and then I hold them to what they tell me they can do, because I go based off of their professional summary. And the licenses. This is the examples when you put under your license and certifications. You're going to put CDL, Class A or B, third party. This is examples, y'all. So y'all going to have your own examples. So this a third party testing certification, DOT medical card, and you're going to put your endorsements, and you're going to list them just like that. Don't go down with them, go across. So it won't take up much space. And then if TWIC card. So if you in the process of getting your TWIC card or getting your hazmat, you can still list it, and then you can put on the side processing or obtaining it or something. Like, let them know that you in the process of getting it, but you don't have it physically in your presence. And this is another example when you put under your driving and work experience. If you have a prior driving experience, include the company, the location, the date, and to set off and be different, you could put the miles you driven for them and what you haul. And then the example at the bottom, it say ABC Freight, Houston, Texas, May 2022 to March 2023. You did regional, and you was a CDL driver, and you did dry van. See, when you be detailed like that, you ain't got to worry about nobody calling you, asking you questions, because you're giving them all they need. So all they got to do is make a decision if they want to consider you or not as a driver. And you're going to put operating a 53-inch trailer across 5 states. You can do that. Maintain 100% on-time delivery. I'll put that, because I'm telling them I'm dedicated. I can be on time, and I'm reliable. And they look at that. And you could say you log 65,000 plus safe miles. So if no driving experience yet, you can add your training from S&R, which is us, and you're gonna put S&R. You can put SRTDI, or you can spell it out. And you're gonna put Houston, Texas. You're gonna put the time you start to the time you graduate, and you're gonna put trainee. And you're going to put, you complete 160 hours of commercial driving training, pass state certified third party tests, and pre-trip inspection, bagging and over the road safety. So I will put that on there, because y'all don't have no experience yet. So you telling them you got training experience, and it'll look good on your resume, because some of these companies are hiring you guys straight out of school. They are giving you opportunities. But the big companies, list of trucking skills, you're gonna put ELD, logbook compliance, because you go over there here. You do your bagging and parking maneuvers. Y'all did the map reading and route planning. Did Steven show y'all how to read the map? Yeah. Not yet. Okay. You could put that on there. Vehicle inspection and maintenance, hazard recognition, customer service, and communication. I always put that on y'all resume because that's showing that you know how to communicate and you know how to have customer service and you know how to treat a customer. Because when y'all go deliver the loads, you are going to be dealing with the customers. And if they like how you present yourself, then they'll be requesting a dedicated person to do their load or they run. And time management and safety first mindset. You can put that on there too. And then elaborate on whatever you put on your resume. And then for your education purposes, always list your high school or you got a GED. And then put the school you went to. If you went to college or whatever, you put it on there as well. And then you always list other. So if you went to trade school or something and you got a certification in something, list your stuff on there. Don't leave it out. List it on there. And these are some tips. Try to have your resume one page, but it's impossible to have it for one page. So I say two. Say 2 pages. Don't do front and back. Do 2 separate ones. And use bullet points, professional language. Use the PDF format when you submit everything. And always check your spelling and errors, because you know if you do a resume and you do it on Microsoft Word, you can go in there and you can check grammar, and sometimes it'll switch the grammar for you to make it sound more professional. And some bonuses what you can avoid: incomplete or outdated information, slang or informal language, unnecessary personal information. You know, y'all know that type stuff. And remember I said don't leave no gaps. And then if you do leave gaps, have an explanation. This is another example. What I was telling you, how you put your name on the top with the Houston, Texas, and your phone number and your email, and then your professional summary. This is what you put on the top of your resume. And you can format your resume how you want it. You can do it center, left, right. It's just whatever your preference is, how you want it to look. And this is another example of the licenses. When you when you got your CDLs, when it was issued, and when your DOT was issued. The dates is very important too. So complete it like this, and then put your endorsements, what they are, and then you're gonna put past state certified third-party test. You can put that on now. And then your tweet, you see how you say pending? You can do that, so they know that you applied already and you just wait for it. So pending means they know that it's in process. And this is how the final resume will look. When I had told y'all about when you put S&R on now, because that'll be your experience, because you did your training. You don't have no physical driving experience. And then you see how there was one training, and then this is your employment history. See, when you do your employment history, you're going to hit like 3 key bullet points of what you did at that job. And you want to highlight maintaining on time. And then you could put, because you're going to know what you did. So you could probably put your own percent on there of how, if you deliver on time, operate company vehicle, and follow all safety protocol. That's another good one that you can put under there. And the other one, this is they was working at Home Depot. You know, you did operate forklift, pallets, you did inventory. That's another good one. Maintain clean safety records and support logistic team. That's another good one. This one here is a trucking professional skills. Those are the skills that I told you list on there. And the final resume, your education, and you're gonna put the school here in your high school. You always start with your current first, and then you go previous. So current, previous. References optional, or you could put available upon request. I will put that under references, available upon request. So if they do ask for references, then you just have to have somebody to see if they're a reference for you, to say what type of person you are and what you do. So some of them do call. And what the recruiters are looking for, they're looking for reliable and clean driving record, CDL training completion, safety mind, professional appearance and communication. And then this was like a bonus, your strong work ethic and values. And I just list a couple of that you can have an example. But this is what they're looking for in the trucking industry. And an unpolished resume, like I told y'all, we don't have to really go over this. So it's just telling you no errors, slang, unorganized. Make sure your resume clean. And I just put a little quote in here. Your resume reflects how you see yourself. Change your thoughts, change your presentation, and change your future. Let your light so shine before others. So it was just a little friendly quote that I gave to you guys. And make sure it's in the PDF form. I use Time Romans and 12 in size. So don't use 14. Don't use nothing but 12 because all legal government documents are in size 12. Don't do nothing else. Just always use 12. I always print a couple of copies when you go on the interview so you can give them one and you have one. And then cover pages are optional. So it make you look professional, but a cover page is just a summary of your resume just before they open it up to read what it is you do. And this is the closing. This is my last slide. And I said my resume is a reflection of my calling, character, and commitment. I present it with confidence, knowing I am equipped for every open door. So always be ready for whatever comes your way. And these are questions and answers. But I want to tell y'all, when you go out here looking for a job, some of you may get disqualified because of your background. But don't be discouraged.